Thanks for joining us today for Elko Live here on KELK. We have our Wednesday county update, and in for the county today, we have some wonderful representatives from our local extension service here in our community. Brittanie Marich is a local 4-H professional, and Brittanie, it's nice to welcome you back and great to see you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to get a really cool update on all the youth development programs that have been happening throughout the community. And then I'm welcoming Ciana Parker here today. Ciana, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
We know you very well in your acting, the things that you have done in the community, and now you have a new role as a SNAP Ed coordinator for the Extension Service, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And we should brag about Ciana a bit because this is the first local position like this. There are other coordinator positions throughout the state, we understand?
Yes, there is a handful actually in Washoe County and in Clark County. So we are piloting the rural areas, really.
And it's a huge area, and Ciana has some great experience that she's going to talk about, some programs that she's helping to pilot. And again, it's all about improving the lives of the youth, especially in our community. At least that's the jumping off point, right?
Correct.
She has some big plans, which we're going to find out about. So I guess, Brittanie, should we start with your update here today?
Sure.
Okay.
So some of the things that we have going on in 4-H coming up, I'll just start with the fact that we started our new 4-H year on October 1st. So the 4-H year runs from October 1st to September 30. And since then, we've installed 5 new ambassadors and 1 returning ambassador. So we have 6 4-H county ambassadors. I'm very excited to work with all of them. They plan and facilitate a number of events for 4-H. And while they're teaching leadership, they're learning those leadership skills as well. So the ambassador program is just really awesome.
You know, in fact, Brittanie, we got to meet one of your ambassadors over the summer, right?
Yes, that was Emily.
Yes, and she's fantastic. And so just to kind of explain, the ambassador does really represent what youth leadership affords the youth in our community and encourages future members.
Yes, and we're happy that she is actually the one returning ambassador.
Oh, fantastic. So that's great. Again, it's a program that provides leadership experience to those who participate, but it's also inspiring to other 4-H members.
Yes, they are kind of the face of 4-H. And so they're, the role models for all of the younger members and really their peers too.
And this also affords them an opportunity to travel a bit, right? To interface with other 4-H leadership throughout the state?
Yes, and we're actually, I'm on a committee right now that we're trying to get the state 4-H ambassadors going again. And so hopefully the opportunity to travel and teach, that's going to get even bigger.
Well, 4-H is such an important part of tradition here in Elko County. Brittanie, I can't imagine that you would have any trouble. Just like a lot of youth leadership or development programs, you're really rebuilding after the pandemic. I mean, just everybody is.
Yeah, we still are. We're seeing our numbers get bigger and bigger, which is great. But obviously, there's still that rebuilding that needs to be done, especially with our programs.
So when you mentioned October 1st is the new year, can youngsters or volunteers still sign up for 4-H?
Yep. So they can pretty much sign up all year long. We are very much looking for adult volunteers. So anyone who enjoys working with youth, maybe even has a certain skill set that they'd like to share, because really to be a volunteer, you can go from one workshop all the way to starting your own club. So it can be as little or as much as you want. But yeah, if you have a certain skill set that you'd like to share, let me know and we can set up a workshop. Or if you have an interest in starting your own club or really anything helping the youth, just give me a call.
All right. Talking with Brittanie Marich, and we're going to give more information about how to reach out to our Elko County 4-H, which is through the Extension Service right here in Elko on Walnut Street. But there's a chance to support 4-H with a holiday craft day coming up. Tell us about that, Brittanie.
So that's coming up on Saturday, the 14th. It's from 10 a.m. to noon. I was really hoping to advertise for that, to tell, the kiddos in the community to come on over. Unfortunately, we're pretty much full now. So I guess that's not unfortunate. But all of our 4-H members, they're just really excited about it. And so we've pretty much hit our cap. But I did want to say that art club is every month. So this is the holiday one, but art club is every month, and it's open to everyone. So if you have a child who really loves to do projects, do crafting, please give me a call, and I can even keep you posted. They don't have to be a 4-H member.
Oh, that's good to know. They can just try it out, see if maybe make some new friends, for example.
Yeah.
4-H is for what ages?
It's from 5 to 19. So 5 to 8 is our Clover Buds, and 9 to 19 is our actual 4-H members.
And those Clover Buds are a kick. They want to do everything everybody else is doing.
Yes, they're so cute.
Yes. So that is a chance to get involved. Art Club is every month. And is there a specific place, Brittanie, that people meet? Or is it drop-in? You do want people to sign up, right?
Yes, so sign up is always required. This one is a special one. It's on a Saturday, and so it's a drop-off. You can bring your kids for a couple hours, and, we kind of said, go do your last-minute shopping or whatever you need to do. Usually we do encourage the parents to stay with their children. And but yeah, it's usually at the extension office.
Okay, nice to know. And again, a central location right here in Elko. So a lot of people are familiar with Elko County 4-H because of the livestock, right? And the Elko County Fair, the 4-H Livestock Show and Sale has been a huge part of Elko County tradition for decades. And part of that is the skills that students will acquire and what they share with each other in this really important, the livestock industry, that's our food chain.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And so coming up in January, we have our 4-H Livestock Skillathon and Quiz Bowl competition. And that's a really fun event. Our state 4-H coordinator comes from Churchill, and we basically put on a competition where the kids can test their skills on like feed ID, breed ID. Last year, she brought a synthetic cow quarter, like a whole big quarter of a cow, and they actually got to practice giving injections on the synthetic cow. So that's one of the great things about 4-H is it's very hands-on. One of our mottos is learn by doing. And so we want to give every opportunity possible to give the kids a chance to actually do the things that we're teaching.
Well, in fact, 4-H combines a lot of these hands-on skills with some of the most practical, basic values like being a veterinary assistant. But then there could be some new technology and some robotics, right?
Yes, yeah. We have projects from livestock to STEM, as you're talking about, to art, to fishing, really the sky's the limit with the projects.
Wow. And that is going to bring us to talking about collaboration because there are so many really cool youth groups that not only does 4-H Youth Development collaborate with, but our local SNAP coordinator too, that we'll be talking more about, just enriching the lives of families and young people in the community. So is it too late to get in on the Livestock Skillathon and Quiz Bowl? Brittanie, should we encourage folks to participate?
Yeah, no, it's not too late at all. This one is exclusive to our 4-H members. And so if you have a child who might be interested in joining, again, just call me. It's very simple to sign up for 4-H. And then it's also simple to join the competition. And so if there is someone out there who really wants to test their skills on livestock, just have them reach out to me.
Do you have to have like a cow, calf pair, or a sheep or goat? Do you have to have livestock?
Thank you for asking that. No, you don't. If you have the interest at all, we encourage you to come. We also have goat workshops. We have sheep workshops. We actually have a goat workshop coming up on the 10th. And again, you don't need to have the animal. If you have any interest at all in learning, come join these workshops.
We do know, Brittanie, that the last time we talked with Jill Tingey, your counterpart there at Extension, she was looking for someone to help with dog handling, right? That's a super popular category.
Yes, and we still need somebody. So if there's somebody in the community with dog experience, dog training, dog grooming, really anything like that, we could definitely use you because these kids need to learn about it.
Oh, nice. I know Elko High School has a pretty significant club. I'm not sure if it's with the FFA or actually with the business leaders, but they do dog grooming in-house, and they kind of have a club, and they make some money doing it. So Maybe we'll tap into our
Yeah.
high school friends.
Yeah, I will.
They make great mentors. They really do. So many high school students are really patient and kind and generous. So that's
Good.
that's a
Thank
good,
you.
Oh yeah, hopefully that could help.
Yeah.
And again, it's important to note that even if you don't have livestock, but if you live in the city, chickens and rabbits are also legal in city limits in certain numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, even if you don't have those animals and you want to learn about them, it just gives you a really great opportunity for that.
All right. Brittanie Marich is our Elko County 4-H professional. She's with our local extension service here in Elko. We're just highlighting some of the really cool things that have been happening in youth development as we go into the new year. And now here is something really neat. This is a contest that sounds like it's open to anybody who wants to participate. And maybe you don't have to have a camera, maybe just a cell phone.
Yes. So any picture that hasn't been altered, so edited, things like that. But we have a photography contest running right now till January 17th. And so our 4-Hers can submit any photo from October 1st to January 17th that they've taken. And like Lori said, you can take it on a cell phone, print it out, and submit it to us. But yeah, and then they have their photography awards ceremony. It's just a big deal, and they can learn a lot about photography as well. We usually have workshops leading up to it. So the theme that we have going on this event is nature with a hand of man. And so what that means is like a nature shot with something man-made in it. So the example that our leader gave was like a beautiful meadow, green meadow, with a man-made old fence. So just collaborating those two. And so I'm really excited to see the pictures that we get.
That sounds fascinating. Nature with a hand of man. And that means that participants can be as young as 5, the clover buds?
So this is for the 9 to 19-year-olds,
Okay.
but we do have different photography contests for our clover buds.
Oh, good to know, because all of this is also could be inspiring for our area youngsters as we get closer to fair time, because that's when you can enter photography, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. They have those static exhibits where it can be photos, it can be Legos, it can be things that they've made cooking. So, yeah.
The Elko County 4-H, again, has such an important role and tradition in propping up our fair throughout the decades. We miss the 4-H when they're not there, and so we look forward to anything we can do, Brittanie, to help enhance that presence. Again, it's a building back process after the pandemic, but certainly those baked good categories, the sewing. You have a 4-H fashion review and talent show that you put on every year.
Yep, that was in August, and it should be in August again this year, but that was really fun. That was the first time that I got to attend that event. And it was just really cool to see what the kids can make and can do. So, and then the way they model, it was just very professional and classy, and it was beautiful.
It's really neat to see. I've run into some of the youngsters. They can thrift outfits. They can redesign something entirely. They can obviously sew it from a pattern or make it completely out of their own creativity.
And we even have a purchased category where they buy the garment, but they really have to look at the construction of it and the price of it. And so they have all these things that they, need to know about that garment.
So those are some of life's important lessons, because
Yes.
if you buy that expensive blouse and you wash it once and it falls apart, that wasn't a good deal.
Yep.
So, well, how excellent. So from the new 4-H year that's underway, the holiday craft day that's coming up, the ongoing art club, the 4-H livestock skillathon and quiz bowl in January, the photography contest, which is now until the 17th. Sounds like you have a busy season. There's no rest for the 4-H.
Right. Yeah. And this is actually our slower season, even though it is still very busy. We're just always trying to have fun things for kids to do. Just want to keep them busy, just like us.
Yeah. Well, Brittanie, thank you. And we'll segue over and talk to Ciana, who is your colleague at the UNR Extension Service. But just to remind people that 4-H is really interested in collaborating, right? And reaching out, because whether it's youth development or inspiring youngsters or, finding adults who want to share their talents and skills. Maybe someone likes to quilt or do photography, or they're good on the ranch. I mean, there are lots of different ways that you can share what inspires you.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone, like I said, anyone that has a particular skill set or any organization that thinks that we could collaborate, we are always open to things like that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brittanie. And obviously, you are welcome to chime in at any time that the inspiration strikes you. So, Brittanie Marich is our local 4-H professional as we're getting caught up here on behalf of Elko County here on Elko Live today. And we should mention, that Extension Service is an important partner of Elko County government. They are housed just off the Great Basin College campus, but UNR is an important partner in higher education, not only throughout rural Nevada, certainly, but the Nevada system of higher ed. And so it's nice to showcase the research and the work that's being done and to bring you on today, Ciana Parker. Great, like I said, to see you. And so I was hoping you might start by telling us about this cool new position. You're kind of feeling your way because it's brand new for Elko, right?
Yes, it is. It has been a very big learning experience. This program is new to our area, and so making those partner connections throughout our community has been my first step, my biggest step, and I've been able to collaborate with a couple of our community members. I was able to collaborate with our Intertribal Council of Nevada Family Violence Prevention Program and the Diabetes Program on the tribe to do a cultural ribbon skirt sewing, and that was really great. And I have to say props to our 4-H sewing club for donating a couple of the sewing machines for us to use.
That's lovely.
But yeah, and so my main hurdle has been just trying to show the school districts and the principals how this can benefit them and benefit the students that they are having within their school. I have to say thank you to Southside for letting me make that first step. I did my first lesson with them yesterday, and it was great. And so I get to go into the classroom. I bring all of my own stuff. I provide a lesson on whichever fruit, vegetable, combination thereof that we have for that lesson. We do an activity. We get some movement going, physical activity, and then I follow up with a taste testing. So everybody gets to have a bit sample size of our fruit or vegetable, and we try it together, and we have our taste testing rules where we all try together. If it's not for you, it can be not for you. It's okay to not like something, but we don't want to yuck on someone else's yum. So
That's always good. Yeah, any adult going out there to the restaurant, don't yuck on someone else's yum. That's a good rule of thumb. So SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, right? So maybe we could start too by, Ciana, telling people you don't provide the food, but you may provide the inspiration, right, for the food.
Right. Our adult ed programs that we don't have here currently, but they do active cooking classes. So they provide the food for, we aim for SNAP eligible individuals. And so they provide the opportunity for them to cook something new with new ingredients and showing them how to make their dollar go a little further. So if it's you have no time and so you're not eating healthy because, hey, you got home from work, what are you going to cook? Oh my goodness, it's the same thing every night. And so is it better for you to have frozen vegetables that you can just throw in really quickly? Is it easier for you to purchase canned? Is it easier for you to buy fresh, prep it the day you got it, and then use it throughout the week? So just some of those life tips for the adult.
And it's a nice way to do it from what you're describing too, Ciana, is there's this cultural aspect. You just described helping to make ribbon skirts, right? I mean, so you can be sewing and chatting and just kind of going over things, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We really want to help support our tribal communities. That's kind of one of our biggest, population that we're working with. Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm working with their after-school program.
Oh,
So
there are a lot of challenges.
there are, and it's really good because then I get to know what their concerns are. I get to know where they're getting hung up on when I say SNAP Ed and they go, government, So then I get to talk about what their concerns are and kind of alleviate them or meet them in the middle. So
Yeah, absolutely. And just an extension of the services, creating a bridge, building that trust. I mean, that's huge. Having a person that they can go to. And, Sienna being new in this might not know right off the bat, but you are the person to find out. And that is so admirable. You have great community connections and you have such a great heart. You really care about this, I can tell.
yeah, I was getting a little disheartened because of how much work I felt I was putting into it without really getting anything back. But I did, like I said, my first lesson, I met a couple of the other teachers at Southside, and they're like, first of the year after we get back from break, how about you, us, class? Yes. And so I've got 3 other lessons set for the beginning of next year.
Wow, that's great, Sienna. And so, I'm just imagining, so you go to Southside School, you have a lesson, you bring in Brussels sprouts, or you hold up an asparagus, or, what's another crazy looking spiny vegetable?
We actually did jicama.
Ooh!
Yeah, there's your buzzword for the day. And I had half and half. I had kids that are like, I took my bites. I don't think I'm going to do anymore.
Right.
And I had other kids that are like, do you have extras? Can I have a second one? I'm like, yes, you may. I'm going to promote this. Go for it.
See, and that's it. Once you go to the grocery store with your parent or your caregiver and you stroll through the fresh fruits and vegetables, how many of you remember just thinking, what is that? I don't even know what that is. And not having anyone to kind of show you what it is or how to prepare it. So simply put, it sounds like Sienna can come to your classroom and show you what some of these foods are.
Absolutely. And some of the lessons provide suggestions on how to eat them raw or cooked. With the jicama, it was suggested to use the tahini.
Oh, yes, that little
on it.
spice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did not because I wasn't sure how that would go over with young people.
Could be spicy. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so there's a lot of options that the program has, and all of the lessons have been approved through the government. They've been approved through the education department. So it's not something that I'm like, I woke up today and I feel like this will be a good lesson. No, these are already evidence-based, proven to help young people to open their horizons and work towards having a healthier lifestyle, even if it's just maybe more physical activity. Maybe they don't do the fruits and vegetables, but now they're making sure they do 60 minutes of activity.
Mm-hmm. Sienna Parker is our guest. She's the SNAP Ed coordinator for our local extension service. So I'm seeing this, or I'm feeling this from you, Sienna, that food can really bring people together, and help people celebrate cultures, right?
Absolutely. I mean, when you go to a potluck and you have everybody who brought whatever they brought, if it's homemade, they're like, oh my gosh, you have to try my food, please. Or they're like, I don't know if it tasted as good as I thought. And everyone goes, oh my gosh, this is really good. So it really is a community when you are making food. And it brings people at home to the dinner table together. The lunchrooms in schools, it brings them together then. And I don't know about you, but when I go to a training or an event, I really hope there's a lunch prepared. So,
yeah, definitely an incentive there. And I love the way that, Sienna, you're reminding us again that not everybody has access to grandma in the kitchen, to mom and dad who can come home and prepare the meals, or anybody who can even do the grocery shopping on a regular basis. times are kind of tough right now, and for a lot of people. I was just mentioning, we had Fish Friends and Service helping on the program recently. They're doing over 530 family food boxes this year, something like 1,400 people. About half of those are children under 17, more than 100 veterans, and about 300 senior citizens. That's a lot of need, Ciana, right?
Yes, it is. And I feel like we are kind of in a lucky area, really, where we have such services like, Fish to be able to provide that. And I just want to say, thank you to them, because I have worked with them through previous employment opportunities, and they really do. They provide more than I think they realize that they do. Mm-hmm. So.
Ciana, that's very meaningful. Thank you for reminding us of that. Again, you're someone who works really hard behind the scenes. You're a fantastic mom. Like I said, you're a super fun person. So it's great to find you in this new role where you get to step out a little bit and really convey that passion that you have for healthy families and healthy children. Do you see that gives them confidence when they leave your classroom, that they might actually sample some new food?
I do. And then this last lesson, there was also a dance involved. So a new song for them to learn, dance moves with it. And they were just begging. They're like, can we do it again? Can we do it again? And I'm like, sorry, guys, we ran over. We ran over on time, but I will be bringing it next time, and you have that to look forward to. And they're like, okay, then when's that? Okay, you got 2 weeks. So I will see you in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Oh my gosh, Ciana, that is just what any parent or teacher would want to hear, that kind of enthusiasm in the classroom, something to look forward to. As you said, a dance, I mean, how many of them like to film their own TikTok dances? And, so anything to get them moving certainly is beneficial. So where to go with this program? Obviously, you've been doing some collaborating too.
Mm-hmm. So previously I have worked in basically early childhood youth development, and I'm hoping to showcase that this is a wonderful program and they'll let us expand in our area. But currently I'm collaborating with the Nevada Outdoor School, as well as 4-H. Thanks, Brittany. And I'm working towards bringing one of our trainers. We have a trainer in Reno who works specifically in early childhood education, and I'm hoping that she will be able to attend our early childhood education mini conference coming up in August. And so with that, it will be an opportunity for our early childhood teachers here to learn a little bit more and see. She has some really interesting teaching styles, and so I think it would be really beneficial, and it would be something new, fresh drink of water. So it'll be great.
Thank you so much for reminding us again of the importance of some of these small behind-the-scenes programs that can make a huge difference, because just one person learning one thing new can translate into a whole kitchen full, then a whole household, and then the whole neighborhood before you know it, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's part of our goal too. So anytime I come in and do a lesson, I have a family newsletter that goes home. So it has a new recipe involving whatever fruit or vegetable that we used in the class that day. And so they can take it home. Maybe parents are open to making something with it. And it also gives them the chance to, there's challenges. So if they complete their challenge of eating like 4 vegetables and doing 5 days of activity, they mark it off on their little bingo board. And they get to bring that in and just kind of get that feeling of, hey, I did something great. And of course, I give them a little something for it, whether it's like a jump rope or a hula hoop or something. But it gives them the chance to bring it home and just have the family kind of look over it together, And I think that's something else that sometimes gets forgotten is if you get a child involved in your grocery shopping, you have them buying the vegetables, you have them picking out one that they will eat every single time, it will give them the opportunity to actually do it, and they'll be more open to it. And maybe they got the carrots, but they decided, I ate 1 carrot and I'm done. You still got your child to eat 1 carrot. Those little victories really add up.
Well, they sound, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
And honestly, how much do we learn from our kids? So with
Yes.
Ciana teaching the young people about this, they're going to be in the grocery store and they're going to be saying, "Hey, Mom, look at this himica," or what is it? Am I saying it right?
Jicama.
Jicama, and we can do it like this, this, and this. And
Yeah.
I would have never known, what that was. So I think that's just really cool. And also shout out to Ciana because, as she said, the Nevada Outdoor School, she invited them to the office and we got to meet with them as well, 4-H. And so now we have summer plans with them as far as camps and, so just the collaboration. Ciana's been great about that.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. And thank you, Brittanie, for, again, just reminding us of the importance, again, of these professional relationships, collaborations, everybody coming to the table. You may have a different emphasis, you may be with a different agency, but if you have a common goal, in this case, it's keeping youth healthy, starting with that, right? Then we can all work together.
Yes.
So thank you, Brittanie, very much. Ciana, did we get to everything you were hoping to today? Because I can see this is just the start of more future programs. And I want to get on your newsletter list. Is that something that the community, could other people get it maybe? Or your family news? Or do I need to go to your class?
Well, you'd have to come to my class because it's a
Okay.
printout. But there are a couple different websites. There's the familydinnerproject.org,
Okay.
which I'm not necessarily associated with, but they provide meal plannings for the week, how to plan on a budget, and then conversation cards for the dinner table so that you're engaging your kiddos and you're creating a lot stronger, meaningful relationships, and having that parent-child interaction is so important for them. So not only do they have a good association with eating healthy, eating food, they also have their parent who is showing interest in them and, just having those nice, easygoing conversations. So.
Oh, and that kind of interaction can lead to prep time in the kitchen, cleanup time in the kitchen, just more stewardship and responsibility in general, helping around the house, being part of the family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of tricky. Pretty cool. Ciana, thank you so much. There are familydinnerproject.org, right? And then I was thinking about parentguidance.org. That's the Elko County School District. They have all kinds of mental health help and resources. There are some great resources available to us, both online as well as in person. So if people want to reach out to you for the classroom, Ciana, what would be the best way to do that?
They can reach out to me either by email, which is Ciana, Ciana, P at unr.edu, or they can call the office on Walnut Street and they'll direct it right to me.
All right. And that number, I think, is 775-73. Go ahead, Brittanie.
775-738-7291.
Oh, good. 7291. Okay. I almost gave someone else's. Okay. All right. Well, you guys are awesome as always. Thank you for the update on behalf of Elko County today. Our local extension service is hard at work, and this is just a small representation of the work that's going on year round. So I look forward to seeing you back. Maybe in January we'll get an update, right?
Yes, that'd be great. And thank you so much for having us today.
Oh, we appreciate it. And thank you, Ciana. We'll see you again.
Absolutely. Anytime.
She's perfect. Thank you guys for listening today to Elko Live here on KELK.